I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. I think I speak for all the staff and coaches when I say thank you to all the parents for raising such a great group of young men. It's been a pleasure working with them, all of them, throughout this entire process. I'd also like to personally thank all the coaches who have given their time from their summers to be with us here this week. This game literally would not be possible without the support and involvement of the coaches. I've really enjoyed getting to know all of you over the years. I also want to thank the athletic trainers, Scott Corkin, Pam Dost, and Holly Boburbka from Active Physical Therapy, as well as Nikki Mackey and Nicole Cornell from UP Rehab. They could not make it here tonight, but they're at the Dome early before everybody else, getting ready for practice, and also taking care of them after practice. It's no easy task taking care of all these guys and keeping them healthy when it's been so long since they put on pads. Questions have come up regarding the pictures that have been taken throughout the week, as well as the Baycliff videos such as this and the other pictures. I've been posting some of them from practice and from everywhere else on the Facebook page, which you can see now. As soon as the week is done, our photographer, Bill Schumann, is going to get everything to us, and we've got a special All-Star Game picture page that you guys can go and I'll send you a link to that. It's a special Shutterfly site. You can download any pictures that you want for free. Just take them, do whatever you need to with them. As far as DVD, there will be TV6. Fox UP is taping the game tomorrow. It will be aired on Sunday at 4 o'clock, the day after the game, and there will be a DVD of that. You guys all have a DVD form in your folder, so if that interests you, that's certainly available. I'm happy to report a lot of really, really positive things throughout the week. At the beginning of the week, we started off with our food drive for the Beacon House, and this year we took in 1,300 pounds of food for the food pantry, which is about the highest amount that we've taken in so far since we started doing this. They're getting low on food in the summer. It's not a big time for them, and so all of the efforts to sustain them will be for many months. Along with the food drive, we had some other stuff during the week, including the Skills Challenge on Wednesday, and then, of course, the trip to Baycliff yesterday. The Skills Challenge winners are as follows. Wyatt Goodwin from Marquette and Trevor Roberts from Kingsford were the fastest overall and the fastest linemen. Ashok Ravindran from Ishpeming and John Paramsky from Newberry had the most bench press reps. And John Paramsky tied the all-time record for the number of reps for non-linemen. And in the 40, Trevor Roberts broke the lineman record for the 40. Jace Briggs from Bark River Harris had the furthest throw. John Paramsky, also from Newberry, won the punt contest. And A.J. Weisnick from West Iron County had the longest field goal. Travis Christensen from Marquette won the best hands for linemen. And Russ Bajorn from Calumet won the receiver challenge for the non-linemen. As you saw from the video earlier, we went to Baycliff yesterday. And I have to say that words can barely express how rewarding the trip was for everyone involved. The players and coaches were outstanding as they spent time with the campers who were in Big Bay for the summer with various physical disabilities. The campers' ages ranged from 3 to 17, and they were all enamored with our players. Thanks to our photographer, Bill Schumann, for putting together the video montage. You guys should all be proud of yourselves and feel very fortunate for the gifts that you have. As much as this meant to the campers, I know it meant just as much to us and our players to be able to spend time with those kids. Over the past number of years, since making our trip to Baycliff, some of our former All-Star players have actually become counselors there in the summer after they've left here, based on their previous experience at All-Star Week. That's pretty amazing, and hopefully someday in the future that'll continue as well with some of you guys or some of the future players. Throughout this process, there were 37 players that raised extra money, and they were able to receive an All-Star ring. Another 16 players raised enough to get all the extra stuff, all the extra gear, the pullovers and sweatshirt, and all that other gear. Those extra amounts help us to achieve our goals, which allows us to donate back to the various groups that we do. We began making a donation specifically to high school football programs in year number 2, and a random drawing is done every single year of all the schools that are available. And this year, we'll be making a $1,000 donation directly to Carnegie program and Gwynn program this year. So they are the 17th and 18th school that we've donated to. We also will be donating the practice jerseys. As you saw when we posted pictures on there, we had a lot of questions when kids checked in. They thought they got the wrong jerseys. They're like, I'm not from Kingsford. Why is everybody wearing Kingsford jerseys? So those jerseys will be donated to Kingsford. The blue jerseys will be donated to Calumet. So we've got a full set of practice jerseys that are going to be donated to each of those schools. So that's pretty exciting. In addition, the 2 head coaches from each team, or the head coach from each team, will be taking home all the brand new footballs for the week. So they take the footballs home to their programs, so they've got some new balls to start with in the fall. There's also two All-Star players that I want to recognize at this time, and they are Jake Arnold from Manistee for the red team and Drew Marshall from St. Ignace for the black team. Can you guys please stand up? Drew Marshall and Jake Arnold from Manistee. Jake and Drew raised the most amount of money on each of their teams. All the players were required to raise $600 to help cover some of the expenses for the week that we have. If they wanted to earn a ring and a team plaque and the other stuff, they could raise additional money. Jake and Drew went well beyond that. It's an outstanding effort and helps the All-Star Game achieve giving back to those communities in the UP. Even in our hard economic times, they went out, spread the word about the All-Star Game, got people to sponsor them, businesses to sponsor them, and that helps us. Let's give them a hand. One other player that I'd like to recognize could not be here tonight, Jeremy Johnson from Forest Park. He enlisted in the U.S. Army and is already reported for duty, so he could not participate in this week. Jeremy tried unsuccessfully for several months to get his date changed so that he could be with us. However, that was out of his control. Jeremy knew it was probable that he wouldn't be here. He figured it just wouldn't happen. So even back in December when he accepted his invitation to play in the All-Star Game, he knew that he probably wasn't going to be here. In addition, he continued to fundraise and do everything that he possibly could as if he would be here. And what he did was that he raised more money than any All-Star player ever did in 10 years, well over $2,500. And he's not even here. Jeremy's mom, Kathy, is here tonight, so I'd like you to join me in thanking her and Jeremy for their efforts. Kathy, where are you? There you go, right in the back there. Kathy Johnson. That's just one reason why this game is so special. The best way that we can keep promoting the All-Star Game year to year is to go back into our community and spread the word to other families, younger families, families of the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen, so that when they come up, that they're just as excited about it as you guys are. So for your efforts, Jake, Drew, and Jeremy, you're going to get an All-Star Game ball that's signed by everybody on your team. So it's literally a one-of-a-kind item. You get a ball that's signed by everybody on the black team, and you get a signed by everybody on the red team, and Jeremy's going to get one of those black team balls too because he got drafted on the black team. So you guys can get those afterwards. Okay, I also want to recognize Marty Spencer from St. Ignace and Todd Kangas from Manistee, our two All-Star head coaches. For taking on the head coaching duties of their respective All-Star teams, I presented each of them with a ring earlier, commemorating their involvement with the game. This position takes a lot of hard work, organization, and preparation, and they really get nothing in return other than our gratitude. I hope you guys both wear those rings or display them with pride, and they're a reminder of some of the positive things that this game stands for and memories that you made while you were here. Let's give both of those guys a hand. On this 10-year anniversary, wow, that Bay Cliff video really messes you up. This is really hard. On this 10-year anniversary, I'd be remiss if I didn't go over some of the numbers that we've accumulated in 10 years to see where we're at. After 10 years of doing this All-Star Game, oops, I think I just hit that. After 10 years of the All-Star Game, we've had every school's football program in the UP represented at least once with a player. Every single school has also received some type of benefit from the game in some form, whether it be footballs, jerseys, money, etc. In 10 years, there's been 874 players who have participated in this game. There have been 65 coaches who have coached in this game. Menominee and Negaunee have the most players with 47 each, while 4 schools have had 1 player each. Bessemer, Brimley, Detour, and this year, Jordan Bellick from Carne-Nato, who is the first and only from his school after their program became independent after 42 years of consolidating with North Central. The game has donated $1,000 directly to 18 different schools' football programs in the UP. The game has sponsored a $500 UP Sports Hall of Fame scholarship every year for the last 10 years. And we've donated full sets of practice jerseys to 16 different schools. In 10 years, we've donated 8,100 pounds. You've raised 8,100 pounds of food for the Beacon House Food Pantry. 336 new footballs have been donated to various programs throughout the UP. Other UP organizations who have received donations include the following: Bay Cliff Health Camp, Beacon House, Marquette Dance Team, YMCA Strong Kids Program, the Daniel Olson Scholarship Fund, and the Ishpeming and Nagani Booster Clubs for helping us with the 50-50 raffle. Overall, the various donations of money come up to over $75,000, plus the food for the Beacon House Food Pantry. What a testament to the support of the UP communities for all the players and events of the week. And now, I have to thank my wife, Jody, who's in the back there. Because as you all know, we can't do anything without our wife's approval. So this game really does hinge on her letting me do this. I really enjoy it. I enjoy getting to know all you guys. But, honey, thanks. And now, I'd like to introduce the black team. Go ahead, come on up here, guys. The black team, Marty Spencer of St. Ignace.
Thank you, Todd. I'm not going to let Todd or Jody get away yet, so Jody, come on up here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Get up here with your husband. The first time I came up here, Todd invited me to be a coach. This is my 4th time, and I told him and Jody that I will always come here because it's so much fun, but the only reason this game is possible and this week is possible is because of those two. And I think we should stand up and give them a round of applause. Thank you, you guys. Parents, this is easy for us coaches to come up here and coach your boys. They're number one, they're quality young men. They know how to play the game. We don't have to do too much coaching to get them ready for the game they're going to play, but it's more about them building relationships with new friends. And we as coaches building relationships with new friends. And the lessons that they've learned up here this week are way above what the game is going to be on Saturday. That Bay Cliff day is a life-changing moment, not for just the kids, but for us coaches too. I told the boys before we went there that, you're going to be those kids' heroes, and that's what they are. But I think the kids learn too that those kids are their heroes now, because they have some relationships with kids that maybe can't run as well, can't speak as well, but you know what? They're still kids, and they're just like these guys. Parents, you have some quality young men on both teams, and that's why they're here. They're not invited here just because they're good players, but they're also because they're good people, and we appreciate that very much. It's been a pleasure to coach again this week. I'm retiring as a football coach, but I'm hoping that in the future, Todd will invite an old retired coach back someday to help again. And now I'd like to introduce one of my best friends and fellow coaches and the new head coach at St. Ignace, IFR Chris Marshall.
Okay, thank you, Marty. I'd also like to thank Todd and Jody. This week is amazing. I have had the honor of doing this game twice now. The detail that Todd and Jody put into this is just unbelievable, and you cannot thank them enough for all they do. Also, I'd like to apologize to our players and our coaches if I was way too serious this week and made us work way too hard. I know we spent a lot of time on the practice field while the red team was out running around, playing around, probably swimming, who knows what, napping. So sorry if we were too tough. Parents, once again, as Marty stated, you have great kids. Both the red team, the black team, their interaction at Bay Cliff with the campers was totally amazing. Super, really touched my heart, and I know it did to all the kids as well. I wasn't going to do this because it's probably not the place necessarily, but I'd like to thank Marty for 30 years of service at St. Agnes, for being a great friend and mentor, and for kind of passing the baton to me, so to speak. So if you're still here, thank you. And I look forward to coming back at least a couple more times, hopefully, Todd. And Baycliff won't let me. I don't follow rules, I guess, while we eat was the thing. And I'd like to introduce a good friend of mine and assistant coach now of mine from St. Agnes, Chuck McCall.
I started coaching with Marty and Iffer 3 years ago. I told them 3 things. I don't speak in public, and I don't put a tie on. So my speech will be pretty short. I got to meet Coach Stenberg this week for the first time, and he's just a great guy. You get a chance to talk to him. He takes missions to Honduras. Him and his family, his son. I just thought that was amazing. But Coach Stenberg from Bark River.
I'm Al Stenberg, and this is my first time coming up here to the All-Star game. I've been coaching for a long time, and looking at this game as something that I'd like to do someday. This year, my son is on the black team, so I had the opportunity to come up here and coach in the game, and it's been a great experience. A very special week, not just because my son's playing, but also working with the group that I have. I'm working with the D linemen, and they're not only much bigger and much more athletic than the kids I'm used to working with, but they're extremely coachable. And I think that's one of the things that I didn't expect when I came up here to be a take home for me, but it's something I'm going to bring back to my school and talk to younger football players and tell them that everybody that I coached up here at this All-Star game listened so well and was so coachable, that I don't think that's an anomaly. I think that the fact that these guys are all coachable is the reason why they're here. And from the time they were young, they followed directions from coach as well and became the great players that they are. And in addition to being great players, like Coach already said, I saw kids from both teams, red team and black team, up at Baycliff, just making it a special day for those kids. And these are a really good group of young men. I'd also like to thank Todd because it's been a great week, and it's been beyond my expectations for sure. And I get to introduce Coach Olson, a man that I have emulated for a long time from afar. I haven't really had the opportunity to know him very well before this week. But we did steal his defense down at Bark River, so I feel like I've been picking his brain from afar from a long time. A great father, a great man, and an unbelievable football coach, Jeff Olson.
And I know we've been thanking Todd and Jody, and I'd really like to thank them too again for one reason, that hasn't been mentioned. And 10 years ago, there was only one All-Star game in the state of Michigan, and that was downstate. And the UP really got slighted in that game. And normally there would be maybe one person from the Upper Peninsula selected. And since Todd and Jody got this game going, now this year we have 85 kids alone that are getting rewarded not only for their athletic talent, but for their hard work, their work ethic, their character, what type of people they are, and they get to play one more game. And Todd and Jody, they treat these kids like kings. They treat us coaches like kings, and that's why I keep coming back. I don't know, Todd, is this my fifth time being here? So every other year, I seem to show up on Todd's doorstep and get into this game. But it's because of these kids. It's because of you parents. You raised phenomenal kids, and that's the way it is every year. And like I said, the UP gets slighted in football. There's great football that's played in the Upper Peninsula. And people are starting to realize that downstate. We're hoping colleges realize that even more. Northern Michigan in 1975 with Coach Mariucci won a national championship with a bunch of Upers. They were all Italians, I think, but I don't know if that means anything. But we want to showcase what we have up here, and this All-Star game does. And if I were a college coach, I'd make sure I'd have my staff here, you know, looking at these kids and seeing what's coming up and seeing what kind of brand of football that the UP brings. And, you know, I can't say enough about UP football, the smash mouth, the tough types of kids that we have up here, the character. And those types of kids win you football games. So hopefully colleges will understand that. And, you know, I say this every year, and one of the cool things about the All-Star game is when these kids come in on Monday morning and they get their equipment, they come to that first meal in the cafeteria, everybody's scattered all over the place. And every year, and this year with no exception, on Friday, everybody's together. And even today, because of the draft, so kids from other teams are on different teams. You know, usually you have one side of the cafeteria packed and they're all together, and the other side packed and they're all together. This year, everybody was together, and that's so cool to see that these kids are getting relationships that are going to last a lifetime. But I'll tell you this, it took today to get everybody better. This was the longest it took, because I'll tell you what, breaking those St. Ignace guys up at their table and those North Central guys up at their table was a tough thing to do, but they finally intermingled. So that was a cool thing to see. With that, I'd like to introduce a great friend and a great coach at Ishermeen High School, George Nemi.
Thank you, Jeff. Parents, family members, this has been truly my pleasure to coach your young athletes, your young men this week. As a first-time coach in this All-Star game, but a regular in attendance at the All-Star games, I really didn't know what was involved with putting this thing together. And after arriving on Monday and watching what Todd and Jody did, their attention to detail, their professionalism, I don't think we truly understand what goes on behind the scenes. It's a well-oiled machine, and you know, we need to do everything in our power to keep this going, you know, for the UP. With regards to your players and your sons, I can't say enough about the approach that they took to getting ready for this game tomorrow. Like I said earlier, it truly was my pleasure to be here. And I hope these guys take away some memories, make some friends that they'll have forever, because I know that I have. And I just can't say enough. It's been a great experience as a first-year coach, and first-year coach in the All-Star game, that is. But it's just been great, and I can't say enough. And thank you for coming out tonight. At this time, I'll introduce from Manistee High School, Tom Tarashensky.
This was my first year coaching the All-Star game as well, and I want to thank Todd and Jody for the opportunity for allowing me to come here and coach, and I also want to thank Todd Kangas for allowing me to be a part of his coaching staff after I retired from teaching in Maryland and coaching in Maryland for 31 years. Todd, thank you very much for allowing me to coach with you for those 2 years in 13 and 14. And also, it was really, for me, a lot of fun to watch the interactions of the fathers who had sons playing in this game. I took myself back to a time because my own father was my high school coach. And I know how, in that situation, that environment, it can be a very good one or it can be a not so good one. And sometimes watching film, you're not doing that right. Yes, I am. But eventually, you know, it becomes a really good relationship. And sometimes you end up filling your father's shoes. So for you young guys that who had dads here that were coaching, maybe you will have some shoes to fill someday. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce to everyone here the 2017 Black Team.
All right, so I got the pleasure of rooming with Steve Cecilia. He's from St. Ignace, and he's our quarterback. He will be attending Albion College downstate to play football. He has 2 sisters and 1 brother, and he's overall an amazing guy. He welcomed me as soon as we met. He's been nothing but nice to me, and it was an honor rooming with this guy.
All right. Ryan Plunger. He's a great guy. He's from Hermansville. He has 2 brothers, 1 sister. After high school, he'll be attending Ferris State University. He'll be studying for 2 years computer-aided design. He's from North Central High School. For football, he plays offensive tackle and center. The guy's won 2 state championships in 8-man football. He's got to be pretty good to be here. So he plays basketball, where he's also won 3 state championships. His favorite NFL team is the Chargers. Hobbies, he loves to be with his family, his friends, his girlfriend. I got the pleasure to meet all of them. He's a great guy. I'm glad I got the chance to be his roommate. Thanks, bud.
Thank you. Let's go sit down.
All right. This is my roommate, Riley Pillion. He'll be playing center for us tomorrow. He comes from Newberry High School. Riley plans on attending Grand Valley State University in the fall to study computer science, so he's obviously a pretty smart guy. We got to spend quite a bit of time together this week, and I'm sure you can attest to that. I believe he's actually one of the few members on our team, including myself, that are up on money from being at the casino this week. Yeah? Okay. Riley has 1 older sister, and we had a pretty good time roommating together, and it's an honor to have met you and spent some time with you.
So my roommate was Mason Berglund. He's from Rapid River. He's going to Bay Community College to study water tech. He has 2 older brothers, and his favorite football memory was beating Cedarville's sophomore year. It's a pleasure rooming with you, man.
Hey, this is my friend and roommate, Brandon Waldrop, also known as Bama, because he is from Alabama. He is our guard this week. He's been playing guard for 13 years, and he's been at Gladstone. He plans on going to Ferris State to play football and study civil engineering. He's got 4 brothers and a sister, and it's been fun rooming with you this week.
It's Marinci, right? Yeah. What is it again?
Yep. All right. I room with Dan Nasserini. He's from Crystal Falls, and he has 2 younger sisters. Yeah. All right, and he's going to be going to Michigan Tech University to play football and major in forestry. And his favorite NFL team is Packers. And it's been a great room with you this week, man.
My roommate was Matthew Beck this week. He went to Baraga High School. He's going to be our left tackle. He has 2 older sisters, and he is going to a community college in Lansing for criminal justice. It's been an honor to room with you.
Now your name's Shane Cole, right? Yep. Just kidding. I room with Shane Cole. He's from Wakefield. He's going to be playing wide receiver for us this week. He has 1 older brother, right? Yep. 2 younger brothers and a younger sister. He's going to Gogebic for criminal justice, and his hobbies include hunting and fishing. It's a good time.
Hi, my roommate is Carter Garangelli. He's from Gwynn High School. He is planning to attend Michigan Tech University for civil engineering. His nickname is Panda, which he told me in our little questionnaire. His favorite superhero is the Hulk, and mine is the Spider-Man. So he's playing middle linebacker for us this week, and I had a good week with him rooming. We talked about football, high school, college, and we all had a lot of fun together. The first night, I was a little nervous because I heard a lot of movement during the night, and I woke up in the morning and his sheets were all ripped off the bed, but it must have been too small of a bed or something, but I've had a fun week.
Hi, my roommate's name is Jace Briggs. He is from Bark River. Although it's been a short week here at the All-Star Game, I've gotten to know Jace quite well. He's going to attend Bay College in the fall to study physical therapy, all while playing basketball. He's a big Packer fan. His hobbies include hunting and fishing, and overall, he's a great football player and even better guy. So.
Well, I got the pleasure of rooming with Jack Sturos. He's from Calumet. He's our safety, right? Yeah. Okay. He has 3 brothers and 3 sisters. His plans after here is to go to Michigan Tech to study in mechanical engineering. His favorite football moment is beating Nagani for districts. He told me not to say that one. He likes the Detroit Lions, and his hobbies include golf afterwards. And it's been a pleasure to room with you, Rumi.
I had the pleasure to room with Taylor Belangi, offensive guard from North Central. His plans after high school is to attend Bay College for nursing. His favorite football moment or moments is winning his 2 state championships in 8-man football. His hobbies include working and traveling. His favorite movie is The Wolf of Wall Street, and he is a pretty big snorer at night.
Thanks, Jack.
Yeah.
This is my roommate, Hayden Kesty. He went to Calumet High School. He has 1 brother and 1 sister. He's our defensive lineman for tomorrow. He's going to be going to Gogebic to pursue his dream in welding. And an interesting fact about him is that he snores and he also talks in his sleep.
This is my roommate, Tyler Bentley. He's from North Central High School. He has 3 brothers, 2 sisters. He plays linebacker, and this year he led his team in tackles with 100. His future plans are to go to Alma to study sports medicine, and it was a pleasure rooming with him.
My roommate is Zeke Oswald. He is going to NMU in the fall to study pre-med. He has 6 brothers and sisters. He played football for 4 years, played golf, and did wrestling. He's from Bark River. He's a tackle, and his favorite food is pizza. My roommate, Zeke Oswald.
My roommate was Cody Rickley. He's from St. Ignace, and he's playing linebacker in the game tomorrow. He played hockey, football, and golf in high school. He has 1 brother, and he's actually going to Alpena Community College for their utility tech program, and he's playing hockey up there too. So.
My roommate was Isaac Olson from Ishpeming High School. He played running back. After school, he tends to major in the Northern Trades program for CNC. His favorite football moment was when he played in the 2015 state championship game. His hobbies are hunting. And a little known fact about him is he cannot catch a football. It's been a pleasure rooming with you, Isaac.
My roommate was Tanner Papor. A little known fact about him is that he likes moonlight walks on the beach and underwater basket weaving. He plans to attend Bay College for welding. His favorite football memory was winning the 8-man state championship 2 years in a row, and it was a pleasure to room with you.
My roommate was Drew Marshall from St. Ignace. The best thing about him is his dad. He told me to say that. He will be attending Alma next year to play football and study pre-med. Best football moment, Coach Olson, you're going to like this one. Beating Ishpeming on their home field. So, he wears number 52, and his favorite athlete is Ray Lewis, so kind of goes along there. Favorite superhero is Flash, so I can guess what, or I bet you can guess what his super power would be. Yeah, speed. But yeah, I love rooming with him. Really cool guy, and I'm glad I got to get to know him a little bit.
He's a funny guy, ain't he? I had the pleasure of rooming with Marcus, a.k.a. Mac McKinney. I mean, the first time we really talked was when he Snapchatted me because he left his key in the room and it was locked. So I had to drop what I was doing and come back. He is planning on attending Bay College to play basketball and study exercise science, which is good for him. His favorite athlete would be Allen Iverson, mostly because he's a basketball guy too. Yeah. He plays corner for us, and I mean throughout the week he's done pretty good at that, so it's nice having a good player as a roommate. But yeah, it's been a pleasure rooming with Marcus.
My roommate name is Grant Johnson. He's a great guy. He's the youngest of 6 siblings in his family. He went to Calumet High School. He was a fullback and outside linebacker for Calumet. He's planning on being an electrical lineman. Planning on going to Gugivet Community College for his first year and finish a degree at Northern. I'll tell you one thing, he's the loudest snorer I ever heard in my life. But overall, he's a great guy, and he'll be playing fullback for our game tomorrow. Best luck to you, dude.
My roommate's name is Jack Lynch. He went to Escanaba High School, where he played nose guard. Well, he will be playing nose guard for us tomorrow, but he played all along the D-line. And he has a older brother named Chris, and he will be going to Bay College for business management. It was great rooming with you.
I got to room with Ashok this week, and me and Ashok actually met at a MTU hockey camp when we were probably around 12 years old. And Ashok will be going to Tech for football, and when he'll be studying actuarial science. And, of course, he wore his state championship ring up here from Ishpeming. So we got him this year, though. So
I had the opportunity to room with Neil Violetta. He plans to go to Northern Michigan University this fall to study industrial electricity. You know what they say, there's nobody better than Neil Violetta. So I'll leave on that note.
I had the pleasure of rooming with AJ Wisnick from West Iron. He's planning on going to State College of Florida to study film production. During the regular season, he was a wide receiver, tight end, and corner, but this weekend he'll be playing wide receiver. He's a great guy, great football player and basketball player. He also did track when he wasn't doing those two. I don't think there was one time I walked in the dorm and he wasn't taking a nap in between practices. But other than that, when he was awake, he seemed like a pretty cool guy.
This is my roommate, Aaron Bolo. He graduated from Iron Mountain and plans to attend Central Michigan University for mechanical engineering and will also wrestle. Aaron played quarterback and free safety in high school, but tomorrow he'll be playing corner. On Aaron's free time, he likes to train for sports, go hunting, and go swimming. Aaron's favorite professional football team is the San Francisco 49ers.
This is my roommate, Austin Hollingshed. He is a defensive tackle from Gwen. He was born in Davenport, Iowa. He is going to Northern to play football. He has 4 brothers and 2 sisters. And he likes to lift weights.
All right. This is Jared Helms from St. Ignace. He's originally born in Petoskey, plays offensive guard. He plans to pursue a career in engineering at Lake Superior State University. He has 1 brother, and one of his favorite things to do is play pickleball.
So this week I had the pleasure of rooming with Shane Ring. He's a linebacker from Negaunee. He has 1 sister, and he plans on attending Northern Michigan University to become an electrical power technician. And it's been fun rooming with him.
So my roommate was Jesse Helmanen from Calumet. He is planning on attending Michigan Tech for electrical engineering. And I didn't bother to ask his favorite football memory because I'm sure it's beating us 2 years in a row in playoffs.
I got to room with Carter Tolaire from St. Ignace. He's a really good guy, really easy to talk to. He plans on going to Lake State in the fall for accounting, and he's playing golf up there as well. It was a short week, but I got to know him pretty well, especially on that first day when he lost his room key. And he had to come find me wherever he wanted to get in the room. But we're good now. I found it for you, buddy. And it's a pleasure to meet you, and happy I got to know you.
Hi. This is Tanner Delangelo from Ishpeming. We beat him this year in football, just so everyone knows, for the first time. And he's going to Ferris State to study radiography, I believe. Great guy. Participated in track as well as football. It was a short week, but I'm privileged that I got to know Tanner. So, thank you.
My roommate was Derek Berger from Cedarville. He has a little brother who is 16 years old. His favorite hobbies are camping and riding around in his boat. His favorite football memory is when they faked a punt and got a 60-yard touchdown. It's been a good time pleasuring it. It's a pleasure rooming with you. Oh, wow.
Hard to beat that one. Anyways, my roommate for the week was Dalton Deno. He's from Escanaba. He's our one of our defensive ends for the week. He's the youngest of 4 boys. He'll be attending Bay Community College to be a water technician. And
he's too nice to say it himself, but thanks for putting up with my wicked snoring all week. So, yeah, nice to meet you.
This is Caleb Scroggs. He played 3 years for Lawrence for varsity football. He's going to be our nose tackle tomorrow, and he plans to become an electrician. And once again, his name is Caleb Scroggs, because you probably didn't hear. And he has one older brother, and I couldn't ask for a better roommate.
Yeah, this is Noah Rule from Ontonagon, and I roomed with him this week, and he played as a defensive back for Ontonagon, but he'll be playing as a wide receiver for us tomorrow. And his hobbies include golf and camping, and he has one older brother and one younger sister. It's been a pretty fun week with him. Couldn't ask for a better roommate either.
Well, this is my sweet mate, Michael Pizziola. He had the pleasure of playing on Nagani's football team with me. He plans to go to Northern and play for them, and he's undecided on his major. It's been great. I already know him, but it's good to share a bathroom with him.
Okay, this is Ira Stenberg from Bark River Harris. He's one of 6. He's a fiery little redhead that tries to be the best at everything, even though he's not. He plans on going to Northern Michigan University and playing on the football team, and wants to study to become a physical therapist. And, you know, apparently he talks in his sleep. I don't know, I didn't get to hear it. Yeah, Chandler got to hear it. You know, it's been a fun time.
This is my roommate, Chandler Brown. He went to Nagani. He is going to CMU to study physical therapy. He has an older sister, and I had a good time rooming with you.
All right, this is my roommate, Ryan Johnson. He went to Gwynn, and he plays defensive tackle, and he is going to Northern Michigan. His favorite memory of football is playing Westwood and hitting the running back into the QB for a sack. Also, his team made it to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years this year.
This is my roommate, Mitch Peterson. He's going to be our safety for the black team tomorrow. And his favorite color is blue. And his favorite superhero is Spider-Man. Mine's Hulk. One of his favorite hobbies is wakeboarding. And I know I tried that one time and I couldn't get out of the water. He's a little bit smaller than me, so it's a little easier for him. And his favorite memory is making it to the semifinals as a team 2 times in a row. And he's also going to, Concordia, which was really hard to remember, in Ann Arbor for radiology.
That's your black team all-stars. Black team, you guys can sit down. Red team, you guys go.
Boy, I'm just like the kids. I forgot what I was going to say now. I know where I'm going. I got it. Okay. I did want to thank the parents and the people that are here supporting them, supporting the players. I'm always amazed at not only how good of football players they are, but I'm even more amazed at what quality young men they are. They truly are, and people are doing the right things at home because those things really do shine out, and you are to be congratulated on the fine young men that you have here. I'm going to go a little different direction than everybody else. Being a high school coach for almost 30 years and this being my 4th All-Star game, I'm going to take my own advice that I talked to our players a little bit about today. You get involved with something for so long, every once in a while it's time to thank the people that were behind the scenes for you. So I'm going to take my opportunity to do that. I want to start by thanking my 2 daughters, Carly and Morgan. Being the daughter of a high school football coach, a high school football coach in the Upper Peninsula, you're not just the coach, but you're the equipment manager, you're the media person, you are the video person, you're the equipment manager. All of those things take time, they take effort away from your family duties. And when you can't find somebody to do those things, they still have to get done. My daughters have been able to step in, and whether they like to or not, they were always able to participate in the activity with me, and that made my football career part with them. I'd like to thank my sons, Cody, Garda, and Tyler. All 3 played for me and have coached with me. You guys have truly made it easy. Sometimes it's not an easy thing to have your father as a coach or to coach with your father. They have made it easy for me as a coach. I want to thank them for that. We haven't always seen eye to eye, but they made it easy for me to coach them and be involved with them. I'd like to thank my wife, Laura. In our family, it's family and football. Those are our priorities, and we always need somebody to be there when those priorities start to lose the order. And she was always the one that would put the order back in of how it should be, and allowing me to do these things for 30 years. There have been a lot of nights and a lot of time away from home, but she's always supported me. She always hasn't been happy about it, but she certainly has supported me and supported us as I've gone through and done it. And I'd like to thank my parents, my mom and dad. Whether you're 16 or whether you're 49, it's nice to have somebody there to support you, to walk off a field and have somebody say, you know what, good job, give you a hug, doesn't matter what the result was. It's always nice to have somebody there. So I wanted to take my time to really thank them. I never get a good enough opportunity or an audience to hear how I really feel. And I just wanted them to know that I'm a better person and a better man. And I've always felt that I've been better with them on my side than if they weren't there. So thank you. All right, God, you owe me $5 for saying good things about you now. So, our defensive coordinator, Guard Kangas.
All right, I'd like to first say thank you to Todd and his family for this week. I first was part of this in 2009. I played in this game. Last year I had the opportunity to coach in it for the first time, and this is my second opportunity, and it is one of the best weeks of the summer for me. I can attest for probably all the players and coaches that this is one of a lifetime opportunity. And like he said, I will be calling the defense tomorrow. I got to know the DBs throughout the week, and I don't know if the black team scores 45, then I don't know who the hell was calling yesterday. To go on a little tangent about Coach Tom Tarasinski, following in your father's footsteps. Okay, my father taught PE, teaches PE in Manistee, and coaches football. I teach now in Pickford PE, and I coach football there as well. And it is a family tradition, I would like to say. And if I become, half the coach or half the man that he is, I would have done a good job.
So I do want to say thank you to my father, Todd Kangas, for everything that he has done for me. And without further ado, we got our offensive coordinator, the third Kangas, Cody Kangas.
Well, I'm the better looking of the three, so you're welcome for being last. All right. And just like those two said, you know, it's a family game with us. I also teach PE and coach football, so it kind of really is a family tradition with us. I'd like to first thank my mom and my wife. Without those two, I wouldn't be allowed to be here. You know, those two watch our kids for a week, and without them, I wouldn't be able to. So thank you for that. You know, this is my second year coaching in this game. I got to coach last year. It really, truly is something special to be coaching with your brother and your father. You know, we might not see eye to eye all the time, but in the end, you know, we just want what's best for the team. You know, and this week really is a joy for us as a family. You know, I've really got to know these guys, you know, somewhat on a personal level. You know, and they're great young men. You know, and it kind of just restores your faith, you know, in the younger generations to be around men like these. You know, it's not only special to coach with your dad and your brother, but this is the 10-year game. I was fortunate enough to play in the first one. Steve Mariucci was also the speaker of that first one, so you kind of see how life kind of goes full circle. You know, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's participated. And the next coach up is Jim Bellick.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm not much of a public speaker, but here I go. A year ago, I didn't think I'd be here. I was too busy and getting anxious about starting my own football team down in Kearney. But as fate would have it, somehow I'm here. I would like to thank Todd and his wife for putting on a wonderful event and giving me this opportunity. I'd like to thank the coaches for taking me in, teaching me a whole bunch of new stuff. As far as I'm concerned, they're some of the best coaches in the UP. Sorry, black team. I'd like to thank the players. You guys are all great men, a lot of talent, and great futures. Also like to thank the parents, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, so on and so forth. You guys have done a great job raising the young men. You're great children, great young men, wonderful futures. Now, I'd like to introduce the low-key, calm Ken Klein.
Okay, please remind me, I'm not to identify my middle school daughter, Cammie, sitting over there, because she'd be so upset if I did that. So please remind me if I do something like that. Okay. And no one interviewed me, but Detroit Lions, I'm a Lion fan, so any of you out there, thank you, thank you. Guests, it's really awkward as a coach. You find that you're very unselfish in this job and fulfilling this role and what we do. And when we come here this week and we're just catered to, we're out of our comfort zone. And so you've been overwhelmed with thank yous that go with it, because we're just not used to being the recipients of so much. We're in the positions, you know, as coaches, of giving of ourselves and our time. And so what you're hearing is just a tremendous amount of thank yous that are all well-deserved. And with that, you've heard all of them, and it's simply stated now, it's just the gold standard. We'll just leave it at that and what they do, and it's wonderful. I'm here to say thank you to the food service staff at the university this week. I got to say, yeah, everyone, yes. You know, I'm an active dad at home. I'm domesticated. I do a lot of the cooking and the cleaning, and I help out in that regards. And to come here this week and have 3 square a day and not have to buy it, cook it, or clean it, it's just been truly a joy this week. Thank you. My name is Ken Klein. I'm coach. I was fortunate to be invited to coach the defensive line for the Red team. I was surrounded with just a great amount of talent, which has a way of making you look good, even if you don't. But they've worked so hard, and I'm really anxious to see them play, and I hope they play well tomorrow. They've prepared for that. And parents, You know, how many had, well, you had recent graduates and had your graduation parties, and you had the stress that went with that, right? And you wonder, you know, your child going out there. And this week, man, it was a taste of the real world a little bit. You are thrown into a situation where you have to perform a job. That job is this all-star game, and assuming your responsibilities and your assignments that go with it. You were thrown together with people that you probably don't know and you may not like. You're not really sure yet until you get there and get working. And that's really a lot about the real world. And going out and of servitude to community and the whole Bay Cliff incident, this is a mini lesson in life. And you just got to this is life. You just have to regroup and recommit every time you face a new challenge like the All-Star Week. Formulate bonds with the people next to you. Listen to those leaders that are teaching and instructing you, and be able to be a good worker that's able to work with others. And that's life. Just recommit, find your next project, whatever that may be, a career, a marriage, a home, and whatnot. Just do it, and that's all it is. You know, knuckle down, work hard for the week, and you'll be successful. So, wonderful week. Parents, understand that your graduates have passed their first test. You may have been nervous near graduation, but they have done very well, and they have graduated by being here this week and playing in this game. So thank you, and thank the players and other coaches that we worked with. It's my pleasure to introduce a colleague, Leon Sutherland, also of Lake Linden Hubble. And we've been on the same staff for a number of years, but we're at different levels, so we really never had the time to work together. And we worked together this week on the same team, and I found a real fun side of Mr. Sutherland, and it was a great joy. And so I present Leon Sutherland.
So I think the clear takeaway from this is if you have to do public speaking and you're in a line, don't stand behind Ken Klein. I want to follow Ken Klein in public speaking. I know this is redundant. I know, 60 people in, we've heard the same thing over and over again, but you got to thank Todd and Jody for all the time and effort they put into this. I mean, what a tremendous, tremendous opportunity for all of us. We're all grateful. Fantastic a week. It's a fantasy camp for high school coaches. You get to work with the best athletes the UP has. You get to work with top-notch coaches. Great facility, great organization. Really happy to have been invited. Hope to be invited again. I got to work with the offensive line. Excellent, excellent group of kids. Top-notch, hard workers, great attitudes, smart kids. You guys did a great job. Thanks for sending them to us. And I turn it over to Coach Sam Eggleston, Superior Central.
Again, reiterating thank you to Todd and Jody for such a wonderful experience. This is my second year in the All-Star game coaching, and it's been absolutely wonderful. My second year also coaching with Todd and Gard and the good-looking one, the Kangas trio, which is always a pleasure. You come to an event like this, and I mean, after a football season, as many of you know, players especially, you can be a little burnt out. Coaches can be the same way. And you enter the off season, you're trying to get your kids committed, you're trying to find inspiration, you're trying to find something that's going to spark everything. And for me, for 2 years in a row, it's been this All-Star game. These kids are wonderful. They're outstanding. They drive themselves to the point of exhaustion to be the best they can be. On top of that, in this position, I'm an 8-man football coach, and across the state, across the Midwest, 8-man football sometimes isn't considered real football. But we're fortunate enough to have an intermingling of 8-man and 11-man players, and I think that it proves every day that the 8-man players belong. And it's been fun getting to know some of them, like Bobby Kleiman from North Central. You win 2 state championships, you score 17,000 points, and you probably think that a kid like that has an attitude or might not be the most down to earth, but it's absolutely opposite. He's a great kid, and I'm glad that I got to find that out about him, not just watch him go into the end zone 10 times on us. So this event really, it just means a lot to me. I'm so thankful that it exists. I believe football is family. My team is my family. I'm fortunate enough to have 2 players here this year. I see these coaches, many of them this year, who have sons in the game, and I feel as though I have 2 sons in the game. And more than that, with my 3 tight ends now, I feel as though I have 5. and I look forward to watching them succeed and just have the time of their lives in their last game. I appreciate everything. Thank you again. Black team, best of luck tomorrow. Look forward to a great game. And I'd like to introduce Newberry's coach, Pete Permansky.
Thank you, Sam. UP All-Star football players, hand in the air. Hand in the air. All right, just a little trick. We learned how to bake lift the other day. I was dying to try it. You'd have chaos in the dining room. We were fortunate enough to have dinner with those kids, and they get a little fidgety in their chair and get a little bit loud. Been sitting too long, and one of those counselors or whoever was in charge just holler hand in the air, and like magic, it'd be silent. So just wanted to try that. And they weren't being fidgety or loud, but I just still wanted to try it. But anyways, been a great week. Been a honor for me to be part of this. The kids, you know, every coach that came up here could go on and on with the kids, and I guess I will to a point. I was fortunate enough to coach linebackers. To have a group of linebackers like that as a high school coach, I mean, it was like a dream come true. You tell them to do something once and they do it, and you almost faint. It's like that isn't how it works in the real world. But other than that, it's been just a wonderful week. Kids have been great. We've had no trouble. They're all stars in many different ways. Football and the weight room only been one of them. But I'm going to change channels here a little bit. Then Coach Marty Spencer kind of stole some of my thunder. But I just want to talk a little about Jody and Todd, what they've done for the UP. And UP people, 900 kids. Wow, you know, 900 kids come through here. They'll never forget it. If you had a clue what they went through, you know, starting with right after all conference picks in November, they started looking at their teams, putting out communication, selecting coaches, selecting players. I mean, the list goes on. Then they go into the media communications, getting people in tune to when the game's going to be, promoting the game, getting players and fans and family here to watch the game. They pack 100 bags with apparel, order apparel, get everybody's sizes right. They're probably the two most organized people I've ever been around. We went to team pictures the other night, and we got 100 kids and how many coaches, and he had assigned seating for team pictures, and it's like, where's everybody going to sit? And, well, he tells you. Came here tonight, and I asked Kleiner, I said, where are we sitting? He said, well, I don't know. He said, your name's on your chair, go find it. It's just a dream come true. He tells you what you got to do. You're not walking around lost, but very organized people, very giving to the people of the UP. And with that, 2017 Red UP All-Star football team.
My roommate for the week has been Bob Kleiman. He's going to Kalamazoo Community College to study dental hygiene and play baseball. Unlike a lot of the other roommates, I've known Bob for a long time. I've been playing travel baseball and basketball with him since I've been 8 years old. And now I finally get to play a football game with him, so it should be a pleasure.
My roommate was Justin Ball, and he goes to Norway. And he's our tight end. And, well, I guess you weren't really supposed to be roomed with someone you knew for your whole life, but oops. But on a real note, Justin's a one-of-a-kind kid. He's, you know, anybody can talk to him, and he's going to treat you with respect. He's kind. You know, he's all of the great qualities a parent would have, and they should be proud of him.
My roommate is John Permansky. Oh, screwed it up. He's a pretty good guy. He went to Newberry for high school, and he plans on attending Michigan Tech to play football and major in civil engineering. Oh, I forgot one thing. He likes to hunt and fish.
Hey guys, this is Blake Borski. He's from Menominee. He likes to hunt and fish. He's going to UW Marinette for criminal justice. Throughout the week, he's been pretty chill. He's pretty much the chillest roommate you could have. He sleeps pretty much during the day. I'm pretty sure he's an insomniac. He doesn't sleep much at night, but overall, he's been a pretty good roommate. It's been great seeing him. Oh, and he plays center, and he has a pretty nice butt.
All right, my roommate for the week was Sam Collins of Negaunee. He plans on going to Michigan Tech to be an electrical engineer. Everybody calls him Chuck. He'll be playing center for us tomorrow. His favorite football team is the Minnesota Vikings. He likes hunting and fishing, and his favorite musician is Sam Hunt. And it's been a good time rooming with you, buddy.
My roommate was Trevor Brawley. He was the only kid from Engadine this year. He's going to Bay College for law enforcement, and he likes to hunt and fish, and his favorite band is Florida Georgia Line. Thanks.
All right, my roommate was Brock Aho. He's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. He's going to Northern Michigan for 2 years. He's got a pretty attractive girlfriend, and she came to town the other day. You wouldn't let me meet her because he was afraid I was gonna steal her on him. But other than that, I think I'll be making a couple trips a year up to Negaunee and hang out with the boys. It's been a pleasure.
My roommate was Braden Wickstrom from Menominee. He's going to be playing offensive line for us tomorrow. And he's going to UW Marinette next year. And everybody calls him Big Wick. So you see him around, give him a little, hey, Big Wick.
My roommate was Seth Myatek. He's going to Michigan Tech next year for civil engineering. He plays guard, and his favorite place is Jamaica, and he was the biggest winner this week at the casino, $1,400.
My roommate this week was Wyatt Goodwin. He's from Marquette High School. He's going to Northern in the fall to study nursing and to play wide receiver. He's got 2 little siblings, a brother and a sister. He likes to race cars. I thought about this all day, and now I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, and he was the one in control of the music all week, and he loves rap music, so the red team got to listen to a lot of rap music this week.
My roommate was Jake Peckett from Negaunee, and he plays right guard for us. He's going to Michigan Tech for civil engineering, and his favorite football memory is going 9-0 this past season.
All right, so let me explain how this week started. I got into my room, and I didn't have a roommate, and I was jacked. I was like, yeah, all that room to myself. I knew it was too good to be true because I got to the first practice, and Todd found me. He's like, you have a roommate? I was like, what do you mean I have a roommate? He's like, it's a kid named Nick Weingarten. I was like, so I don't have my own room? He's like, nope, you got to move all your stuff to this room. So I get back, and I moved the room, and he was laying in bed already after practice, almost sleeping. And we didn't get to talk much that night. He fell asleep right away, and I learned it was a bad idea because I came back late at night, and every time he moved, his bed squeaked like crazy. I swear we got the squeakiest bed in NMU. But he's from Houghton, and he is going to Michigan Tech to study marketing. And he told me he likes to play ping pong, but I think I could beat him. It's been a pleasure rooming with you.
All right, this is my roommate here. His name is Steven John Dudenes. And since today is Friday, his favorite color is blue, just because it's Friday. He enjoys frisbee golf and Guts Frisbee. Is that what it is? Yeah. Guts Frisbee, I've never heard of it, but sounds pretty cool. He has one older brother, one mother, and one father. And it's pretty cool hanging out with them the whole week. Have a lot in common. Pretty goofy guys, like to talk and hang out. And it's fun with him being my roommate.
My roommate was Adam Lucas Hildebrandt. He has one older sister, also one mother, one father. He has lived in 4 different states: Tennessee, North Carolina, Nebraska, and obviously Michigan. He went to Newberry High School, lived in Paradise, like a 40-minute drive or something, he said, which is crazy. And yeah, he plans to go to NMU and walk onto the football team. So that's my roommate.
All right, hello everybody. This is Jordan Reynolds. He's from Houghton. He tried his very best to play quarterback for them in high school. We're kind of natural rivals, just being from down the road from Houghton. He plans to get his teaching degree at Northern Michigan. He likes sports, hunting, and ping pong. And his favorite football memory is winning Copper Bowl. So this is Jordan Reynolds.
I was rooming with Jason Sutherland from Lakeland and Hubble. He's going to Michigan Tech University, get his teaching degree. He's going to teach social studies. He likes to golf, swim, and lift weights. His favorite football memory is going 9-0 for 2 years in a row.
This is my roomie, Brad Casanova. I think I said that wrong, but he's from Norway. So on Monday night, I went to bed early. I slept on my stomach so I didn't snore. I woke up early Tuesday morning and he was snoring away, so I said, heck with it, and I laid on my back the rest of the week. So he plays football and golf at Norway, and he's working an apprenticeship in Gwyn this summer. He enjoys living in the outdoors, but his favorite thing to do is hunting. And we didn't really talk much the first few days, but once we got to know each other, we had many good times with the boys this week.
This is my roommate, Russ Bajorn. He's going to Michigan Tech to play football, and this week he'll be our linebacker. And yeah.
This is my roommate, Michael McParlin, and he is from Hancock. He has 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and he's going to Minnesota in Duluth to study biology, and it was a pleasure having him as my roommate.
That's my roommate, Jake Arnold. His favorite TV show isn't Hey Arnold. He went to Majestic High School. He was all-state for wide receiver, and he's playing tight end here, and it's been a pleasure rooming with you.
My roommate was Dante Thurston. He plans on going to college here at MU for clinical laboratories, sciences. And Dante is another one of those people who likes to talk in his sleep. And mostly gibberish, but yeah, it was.
This is my roommate, AJ Triplett. He has 2 sisters and 1 brother. 1 brother and sister are out of high school. He is plays linebacker, and he doesn't talk much, but we did it. We got him to talk, and it was fun having him as a roommate.
This is my roommate, Austin Wickland. He's got 1 sister and 2 brothers. Tomorrow he's going to play running back for us. He's going to bait for fisheries and wildlife, and he loves to hunt, loves to fish, and in his free time he likes to play sports too. It's a great time.
Yeah, this is my roommate, Chris Lemire, I meant. He's from Escanaba. He played cornerback.
He is going to Michigan State University for business. He has 3 older brothers, and he likes to be outdoors. A couple other things about him. He always keeps his hair perfect. It's never offbeat even when he wakes up. He's quiet when he sleeps, so I got a good night's sleep. And we both use fans, so we slept good. We didn't have any problems with that, so it was definitely fun.
All right. This is my roommate, Corey Cody. He's from Munising High School. The first time I met Corey, I was a little intimidated, you know. He's a big guy. He reminded me, full pads, a little bit of Clay Matthews from the Packers. You know, I saw him and I was like, thank God I'm not on the black team, you know. But yeah, he's got quite a head of hair on him, very luscious. Yeah, he's a great guy, and he's going to Michigan Tech to play fullback and study engineering. But yeah.
So my roommate for the week was Nick Mackey, and he went to Stevenson High School, and he will be playing safety for us. He plans to study nursing at Bay College, and at home, he's a pumpkin farmer. And he likes to lift weights and the whole supplement game, and we kind of talked about that because I like to do that too. And he's got a pretty mean fanny pack collection. I'm not going to lie. It says it for itself, and it's pretty funny because he literally gave me this pen out of that just to write these notes before we came up here. So, yeah, it was a fun week.
This is my roommate, also a classmate and a teammate of mine, Austin Curtis. He has a younger sister, Emily. He is going to Western Montana to study wildlife biology and play football there. He definitely has the biggest feet on the team, wearing a shoe size 17. He didn't get cleats. He had special shoes made for him. I'm excited to play one more football game with him, and it has been a heck of a week spending time with him.
This is my roommate, Garrett O'Neill, great classmate, been playing for a lot of years, loves hunting and fishing, great athlete, glad to room with him.
This week I've been rooming with Jordan Bellick. He's from Kearney NATO. He was part of their first football team in about 30 years. And his dad coached for that team also. He's a coach now here. And he played quarterback for his team in high school, but like a lot of us, he got switched position. He's playing wide receiver this year, or for the game tomorrow. And he'll be going to Bay College to study water technician.
That was my roommate, Jalen Skinner. He's from Gwynn. Tomorrow he's going to be playing tight end for our football team. He likes, I don't remember. Yeah, he likes to hunt. He goes all over the place and hunts exotic animals. And he was a special teams player of the year. And I was glad he was my roommate.
This is my roommate, Chuck Goschel. He's from Pickford. He has 3 older sisters. He's going to Lakeland to study criminal justice and play football there. And he likes to hunt and fish. And something we both have in common is we love to sleep. And it was a pleasure rooming with him.
This is Bryce Brodeen. Loves to hunt and fish. Loves the game of football. Really good running back. And fun week this week with you, even though we just slept basically when we went back to the room. But yeah, thanks a lot. Good memories.
This is Travis Christensen. He's my roommate. He's from Marquette. He's going to Northern to play some football. He's going to study sports science. A couple things I learned about him is he snores like a Peterbilt. He's a ladies' man, so hide your women. And yeah, he's a great guy, and it's been awesome spending the week with you.
This is my roommate, Mac Hall. He's from Kingsford. He's going to TAC to study electrical engineering. It was kind of funny. When we first met, he told me the story how he broke a kid's collarbone for my team, Wyatt Gluten over there. So it was pretty funny. So I don't know, they may have some beef during the game. He's one fact about him, he's been dating a girl for 4.5 years. So the wedding might be soon. Hopefully I get invited. Unless I steal her from him. And he's got a cute dog named Trigger. It's probably rooming with you. Now hug me, brother.
Mooch began his coaching career at his alma mater, NMU, then moved to Cal State Fullerton and Louisville. His first professional position was as a receivers coach for the USFL's Orlando Renegades. Later that fall, he had a brief stint with the Los Angeles Rams. From there, he went to USC and then Cal. At Cal, he was promoted to the Golden Bears offensive coordinator. Steve then became the quarterback's coach for the Green Bay Packers during the early years of Brett Favre's career. After 4 years with the Packers, he returned to Cal as head coach and earned a trip to the Aloha Bowl. Following his success with the Golden Bears, Mooch was considered a leading candidate for several NFL coaching positions and was hired to coach the San Francisco 49ers, then one of the top teams in the league. His 49ers team went 13-3 during the regular season, earning home field advantage in the NFC. After defeating the Minnesota Vikings in the divisional playoffs, the 49ers hosted the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship, but lost 23-10 in a muddy Candlestick Park. The following year, the 49ers posted a 12-4 record, returned to the playoffs as a wild-card team, and lost the eventual NFC champion, Atlanta Falcons. 49ers returned to the playoffs one more time after a 12-4 season, but were eliminated by the Packers again. Steve's final season in San Francisco was 2002. The 49ers won the NFC West and beat the New York Giants in a wild-card game, posting the second-largest comeback playoff victory in NFL history. However, they were beaten by the eventual Super Bowl champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As the 49ers coach, Mooch compiled a record of 60-43, while his teams made the playoffs 4 times. He then spent 3 seasons as the Detroit Lions head coach, trying to revive the struggling franchise. Detroit was his last NFL coaching stint. Now, he is one of only 13 NFL head coaches since the AFC-NFC merger in 1970 to lead his team to a division title in his very first season. He also established an NFL mark for consecutive wins by a rookie head coach within an 11-game winning streak. Since leaving coaching, Mooch has been working with NFL Network on game day as well as an analyst. Affectionately also called Coach on the show, everybody respects his insight and loves Mooch's down-to-earth Midwest personality. Steve Mariucci is without a doubt one of the most famous people to come from the UP. He continues to give back to his UP hometown community, his college alma mater, as well as the Beacon House. Please help me welcome UP's own Steve Mariucci, and we're going to show this video here first. So let's help welcome Steve Mariucci.
Awesome, wasn't it?
Let's welcome Steve Mariucci.
Wow. Thank you, everybody. I enjoyed that tape. I hope you guys did too. If you, some of you guys, the Kangas guys were here, right? I had my daughter. She was on that little tape right there, and we were at the dinner table, and she was on, getting filmed by Films, and she said something about I just farted. And anyway, it was one of the great moments on the film. That's why it won an Emmy. Okay, she just graduated from Boston College. She will kill us all if she finds out that we still show that little clip once in a while. But anyway, Todd, where'd he go? Thank you for inviting me. 10 years ago, I spoke at the first banquet that the Uper All-Star Game had, and it was a pleasure to do that. Some of you guys coached and played in that game. And here I am 10 years later, and maybe 10 years from now you'll invite me back, unless I take an E or something, and I hope to be able to do that. But Thank you, Todd. You've been thanked by many people. And let me do it again, okay, because there's not enough thank yous to go around tonight for all the work that goes on here. The work for the Beacon House and the food drive. You know, one of the reasons I came up here this week is to support the Beacon House. And if you don't know what the Beacon House is, it's a place where people stay when their loved ones are in the hospital. And they stay there for free. And it's got to be supported, okay? And we raised a couple $100,000 this week because, you know what? My family stayed there once. My family stayed there once when my mom was dying of cancer in the hospital. Okay, so sooner or later, you're going to know somebody that uses the Beacon House. So thank you for supporting that too. I got a question for you guys. I want to ask you about Bay Cliff because I think that's such a great idea to go over there. All right, what did you learn about Bay Cliff? What did you learn over there? Somebody answer me. Don't take anything for granted. Okay, what else? Did you like going over there? When you walked away from, you bust away from that place, what was on your mind? The kids? There you go. Being thankful for what you have. And I hope you all feel that way too, because you guys are so darn fortunate. We all are so darn fortunate and lucky, all right? You know, nothing's perfect, but anytime you have an ache and a pain or a down day or biorhythms are off or whatever, just think about those kids, all right? And you know, and I hope that it's in your heart that you're going to say someday, you know what, I'm going to help somebody that's less fortunate than me. I'm going to make that a habit. Help out some others that are less fortunate than me, all right? So I hope there you had a good experience at Bay Cliff, but you took away something that might be a lifelong lesson to support other people when they need your help, okay? I want to congratulate the parents. I would like the parents. You know, we have a lot of coaching parents that were introduced already. But please, moms and dads, stand up. Please, stand up. Give them a hand, guys. You know what? It's hard to be a parent, isn't it, these days? And you guys have done a great job. I want to tip my hat to the parents, because you gave these kids the opportunity to achieve in something that they love. That's what life's all about. Attack something that you love, whether it's academically in school, whether it's on the playing field or in the court or whatever that is. You attack it with all your might, and you know what? All-Maybe you end up an all-star. Your kids ended up all-stars when they were playing in the backyard or in the front street when they were 8 or 10 years old. Did you ever think that they might become a UP all-star? And you know what? They did, and it took a lot of parenting and a lot of sacrifice, and you guys, yes, are to be commended, and congratulations and all that, but I want to acknowledge all the parents, because without them, you got no chance, and you know that. Give your parents another hand. You saw tonight this was really cool for me to watch all of the coaches that are in this game and all of their sons that are playing for them. So I'm going to have you guys stand one more time and your sons stand one more time because I want to say something about that. Jeff Olson and Isaac, stand up. Let's go. Ifra Marshall and Drew, stand up. Al Stenberg and Ivor, stand up. Pete Bramsky and John, Jim Bellick and Jordan, you guys standing up? All right. Ken Klein and Lindsay, Leon, Sutherland, Jason, all the Kangases. There's a million of them over here. Do you know how cool this is? To have a coach and a son participate in this game. I'm going to tell you something. I'm jealous. I am 100% jealous of you guys. My dad was my wrestling coach. He wasn't my football coach, but he taught me, you know, the punt, pass, and kicks, and in the backyard and all that. I never got a chance to coach my kids, my 3 sons, in a sport. Yeah, I coached them in my backyard or on the way home or at the dinner table, you know, some of that, but never on a day-to-day basis like you guys have that opportunity to do. And it's so special and unique. When I was coaching the Green Bay Packers, Brett Favre, Mark Burnell, and Ty Dittmer were my quarterbacks. All 3 of those guys had their dads coach them in high school, all of them. It's very prevalent and common on some of these athletes that grow up because they got that early discipline. That's not to say that other parents aren't disciplined, but it's just something special because I happen to be a dad and a coach, and my kids were athletes, and I just want to applaud all you guys, and I hope this is a special week for all of you to be coaching your kid for the last time, I think, right? Give him a hand. Let me tell you about my dad real quick. Let me tell you about a story. You may be bored stiff with it, but you know what? When I was at Northern Michigan, you know, I played 5th grade football all the way up in high school and college, and then you know, I tried out in Canada. I wasn't good enough, but I started coaching at Northern and all the way up. 30 years of coaching and 14 years now in television. So it's all about football. My whole darn life's been about football, really. Made a living around football. It almost didn't happen. So I'm a freshman at Northern. I noticed there's a lot of Michigan Tech guys, huh? Got a lot of Michigan Tech guys. How many Northern guys? Raise your hand. Okay, we got some, right? We got some. You guys are going all over the place, and I'm proud of you and wish you all the best. But when I was at Northern as a freshman, I wanted to quit. In fact, I did. Training camp. I called up my mom and dad, and I said, hey, please come and get me. This is not for me. I don't like football anymore. I am homesick. I am not good enough to do this. I can't do this. Please come and get me. I want to come home. I didn't think about, am I going to go to college? What am I going to do? I didn't care what I was going to do. I just wanted to go home. I had a girlfriend. Where's that guy that has that good-looking girlfriend? I had a girlfriend. That wasn't really the reason. I just wanted to go home, okay? And my dad said this, okay, I'm going to be right up. Well, I was with my suitcase on the curb. I lived in Grease Hall with Izzo, all right? My suitcase, well, he wasn't there yet. My suitcase was packed. I'm waiting for my dad for an hour from Iron Mountain. And here he comes. And I'm thinking, man, I'm going to be home for dinner, all right? And he said, all right, let's go back into your room. Okay, we'll go back in the room, and let's talk about it. And he said, what's the matter? And I just told him what I just told you. I don't like football anymore. I want out. And he says, you know, you love football all of your life, every day. You talk about football. Your intentions were to play football. You train for football. How can you make up your mind in a week? And I said, I don't know, Dad, but I'm certain that this is not for me. He said, do me a favor. He said, do me a favor, just hang out one more day, okay? One more day, and if you don't like it, I'll come and get you. Let's go talk to your coaches. So he brought me over to the coaches, and he said, talk to him. My son's thinking about coming home. And the coaches said, take it one more day. Stay till tomorrow. And I said, okay, I'll stay till tomorrow, but then I'm going home, all right? Well, the next day I got through practice, and it wasn't the end of the world. And the coaches convinced me to stay one more day with a snoring roommate, okay? And one more day turned into get to the weekend. And the weekend turned into a day off. And then a couple days later, everybody reported for school, and now the campus is a little busier, and there's co-eds, and here comes my buddy Izzo. And all of a sudden, okay, I can deal with this now. It's a little bit different, but I'm okay with it. I don't love football, but I'm going to stay here, and classes are going to start next week. And I just wonder a lot. What if my mom and dad, well, my mom was ready to take me home. You know how moms are, all right? Oh, come home, honey, I'll make you dinner. All right? So, and my dad was like, I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, make a long story short, I stayed, obviously, okay? I stayed. I redshirted. Didn't play. I wasn't ready mentally. Not everybody peaks at the right time. Kurt Warner's going into the Hall of Fame this year. He didn't play till his 5th year in college, and then he stocked grocery shelves for a few years before he started playing. People peak at later times, not just 20, sometimes 28, okay? So anyway, what's the point? Why am I telling you this story? Because I learned from that experience, guys, that sometimes our parents or our coach might know us a little bit better than we know ourselves. Remember, they've been our age. We haven't been theirs. So my dad was intuitive enough to say, you know what, I can't let him make this decision. He will make the wrong decision. I'm going to help him make it, and his coaches are going to help him make it. So that's my point. Sometimes you got to listen to your parents and coaches, even if you think otherwise, because they have the experience and they know you very well. Okay? That's the point about that story. I don't know what I'm doing if I would have been allowed to come home. I don't know. Maybe I'm still in Iron Mountain, you know? 10 years ago, can you hear me? 10 years ago, I showed the crowd this. What is it? What are you laughing at? What is this? What is this? Who has one of these? So this, come here, this is the UP. That's downstate Michigan. You get it? That's how I feel about it. All right? And I used to wear this. When I left Northern and started coaching over there in California, I'd wear this on the plane. We used to have to wear ties. You guys look good in ties. Wear a tie once in a while, okay? I'd wear this, and they go, Coach, what in the heck is that? All right, so I have to explain what the UP is all about. Be proud of being a Uper, guys. All right? Be so proud of being a Uper. We're a different breed of cat. I'm just telling you that right now. All right? And don't be afraid to tell them where you're from. And don't be afraid to come home and give back to your community. You're not going to all come back and live in your hometown. I'm just going to tell you that right now. You're not going to all do that. You're going to move away to every city in the country. But when you do go move away, make sure you come back and you remember your school. You remember your church. You remember your family, okay? Very important. Till the day you die, all right? You remember where you're from. We're all a bunch of Upers right here. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a real question. I'm going to ask the moms too, because many of these guys are athletes in basketball, track, bowling, you name it. What was that one sport we talked about? Pickle something? Okay. But we're here because of football, right? I want you to tell me what your favorite thing about football is. Is it scoring a touchdown? You know, talking to the cheerleaders after the game? What's your favorite thing about football? Being with the team. Where? In the locker room? Or on the bus? Or just always? Huh? What else? What's your favorite thing about football? Having fun. You can have fun at anywhere. What's so much fun about football? Okay? Give me a mom. What do you moms love about football? Okay, I knew that was coming. Seeing our kids get up off the ground, all right? I know that's a concern. Absolutely, it should be. As a parent, it is. I'm on the Player Safety Advisory Panel for the National Football League. We're trying to make our game safer. It's a contact sport. We know that. Trying to do everything we can to have coaches certified and practice the right techniques and keep the head out of the game and all those sort of things. But yes, parents are always concerned every time you make a tackle or every time you make a hit. Get up, get up, get up. Okay, he's jumping around. I feel better about that. What else? What else? What do you like about football? There you go. Discipline. Absolutely. You mean you don't get disciplined playing tiddlywinks? You're darn right. Playing a sport, you get disciplined. What else? Competition. Let me tell you something. You're going to have competition on the football field tomorrow, right? But you're going to have competition in the classroom when you go off to college. You're going to have competition for that girlfriend. You're going to have competition for that job that you want someday or that promotion. There's going to be competition in everything you do. Not only learn to compete, but love it. Love competing. Okay? If it's a pickup basketball game in the backyard, you try to win it. Try to be the best. Competition is so healthy for the soul. All right, one other thing. Give me a dad. What is dad's life about football? The team. Responsibility. Okay. All right, you get the point. I'm going to tell you what I like about football. All right? I like the huddle. who laughed. I like the huddle. Okay, you're going to go, you're losing your mind. So this is why I like the huddle. And I coached for a lot of different teams and a lot of different levels, and it always marveled me when I watched practice or watched the game, because everything starts in the huddle. Yeah, we don't huddle anymore, but you do huddle. You huddle with your coach at halftime, in the locker room, before the game, after the game, for the team prayer, whatever that is. You do huddle, okay? But let's talk about the typical 11-man huddle. All right? I'd be watching practice and looking out there in the huddle. It had nothing to do with touchdowns or first downs, but I'm watching the huddle and I'm looking who's in there. And I see Steve Young. He's the great-great-grandson of Brigham Young, all right? I see Jerry Rice. He's from Mississippi, a little town over there, all right? His dad was a bricklayer. I see Reggie White, the minister of defense, or I see a Brett Favre from Kill, Mississippi. Who names their town Kill, Mississippi, all right? Or Tony Gonzalez from Newport Beach, California, had him at Cal. All these guys, and I can name 1,000 guys that are in that huddle. And you know what? I'd say, wow, look at this. Just look at this huddle. Because these guys had absolutely nothing in common, didn't know each other. They're from different walks of life until they got in that huddle together because of football. I had some black guys. I had white guys, I had Hispanic guys, I had Asian guys, I had Polynesian guys, I had multicultural guys. I had all kinds of guys in that huddle. I didn't care about the color of their skin, I care about the color of their helmet, okay? I have Catholic guys out there, and Protestant, and Mormon, and Muslim, and Jewish, and some guys that haven't figured it out yet, haven't decided yet. Now, I got some guys there from the East Coast, they're from the West Coast, they're from Ontonagon, they're from the South. Some of them were from Mars, I swear to God. They're from the farmlands, the beaches. Some guys were from the mountains, some guys were 3-car garage kids, some guys were from poverty. I had a guy, Jamie Winborn, went to Vanderbilt, for crying out loud. He was born in prison. I had all kinds of guys, okay? I had some good-looking guys. I had some ugly guys. I had some guys that were so ugly, their mother used the neighbor kid for the home movies. All right. I had some tall guys. I had some short guys. I had some guys so short they never saw a parade in their life. There's some chubby guys. I had some skinny guys that had to run around the shower to get wet. In other words, that huddle, every time I looked at it, was very culturally diverse, wasn't it? It's like everybody's there. Whoa, where did these guys come from? And you know what? Before they got in that huddle together, guys, they had probably nothing in common politically or religiously or anything. But you know what? Now they're teammates. They're roommates and they're teammates, and they have one single purpose, and that's to kick somebody's butt together as teammates. And you know what? They get in that huddle, and I love it. I watched it every time. We used to practice the huddle. We'd practice clapping in the huddle with Hall of Famers, okay? And the huddle goes like this. And sometimes in the huddle, when you're playing on the road and it gets so darn loud, some of those domes, they crank up the sound. It's fake news and it's fake crowd and it just keeps coming. And you have to tighten it up. Sometimes they hold hands. Sometimes they really circle the wagons. Sometimes it's snowing and you got to tighten it up in there. And you got to have somebody, the leader, and the rest listen. Listen. And you listen with your ears and you listen with your eyes. You look at his mouth, because sometimes you can't hear otherwise. You use your eyes when you listen to somebody talk. All right? And the leader's going to say something. He's going to tell you, he's going to give you the plan, isn't he? He's going to give you the plan. He might say something like this. All right, let's go. It could be your linebacker on defense. It could be your quarterback on offense. All right, guys, we have no timeouts left. You got to catch the ball and get out of bounds, all right? Hang on to the ball. Here's the play. Let's go brown right, slot, F right. 2-jet flanker drive, halfback corner. On one. Ready, break! And you get up to the line of scrimmage with enthusiasm, with confidence. And you have one single purpose. And that's what? To make the play work. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But you know what? You always get back up, right? Win or lose, you get back up, and you get back in the huddle. And you do it again. And I love the huddle. You know what I wish? I wish families could huddle up more often. Like, go to Marquette, Michigan for a week for Todd's camp right here. It's an awesome week. It's where families can get together and you can talk about the plan. Maybe you huddle up at breakfast time. It's so hard to get a family together. Maybe it's dinner time after school and after practice. You huddle up with your families and talk about the plan. Do you know that the average dad speaks to his teenagers an average of 2.5 minutes a day? 2.5 minutes. When I learned that, I said, that's not me. I'm really a good dad. I must talk to my kids more than that. So I did a little experiment. So my daughter, I had my little stopwatch. So, honey, how was school today? Good. Well, that's 1 second. So I knew what she was doing. I knew you have a geometry test. How did the test go? Tell me about it. I did okay. That's 2 more seconds. Talk to your kids. Have dialogue with your parents. And you have to have a captive audience, don't you? So that's why when I sit down today with my family, there are no cell phones. There are no cell phones. You take out a cell phone at dinner, you don't eat because we want to talk. We want to talk about the plan. We want to talk about how's the girlfriend? What do you like about her? How's school? What do you think you want to be when you grow up? What interests you? How's football practice? How did it go? You feel good? You sore? Talk about things like that. Where do we want to go on vacation? And when you guys go off to school, which is coming right around the corner, and parents, figure out a time to go, maybe they're downstate, wherever they are. Find time to huddle up with your families. You either go to campus and spend the weekend with your kids, or kids, you come home. You come home. And you know what? Huddling up is not two-thumb texting, all right? That's okay. It's okay on a Wednesday night, and emailing or even FaceTime. That's fine, but there's nothing like huddling up with a hug in front of it, okay? So you find a way to get together with your family and talk about the plan. Talk about how you're doing, because that's so important. That's what I loved about watching football players, because we only get that in football, don't we? It's the ultimate team sport. You learn to be a teammate with guys that you have nothing in common. And when you guys go to school next year, you're going to look around in your class and go, geez, this does not look like my block at home at all, all right? You're going to have people from everywhere that are very, very different than you are. But you're going to find out how to be a citizen with them and be friends with them and understand their point of view. So tonight, before you go to bed, this is your assignment, guys. You huddle up with your mom and dad and your little sister and Uncle Bob and whoever's here, okay? And you say, you know what? Thank you. Thank you. Because I could not be an all-star without all of your sacrifice. Thank you so much for doing what you do for me. And I love you very much. You're not a man unless you can say I love you to your parents, okay? Parents, you find a way to love these guys when they're gone and stay in touch with them. I can't thank you enough for allowing me to come here 10 years after I was here and saying hello to you guys. I'm so proud of you guys for doing what you do. I love football. I always will. And you guys are playing it as well as anybody plays it. All right? Good luck tomorrow. You get your last licks in. This is the last time you can hit somebody without going to jail. All right? So you hit somebody, keep it clean, good sportsmanship, be safe. I love you guys. Congratulations to everybody. Thank you so much.